So hopefully I can try to make sense of how this flow is set up and what is needed in the different ones, but it can become a bit technical and sometimes also maybe a bit confusing. So please just ask questions as I go along if it doesn't all make sense. So we can even start out here for the developers. So you all know the user office project, and we are usually in the core of the project, but there is also the scheduler down here, which is a different code project here that you can use. But with that being said, so that's what I'm going to show you today for getting a scheduled time into the user office. With that being said, you don't need to use this scheduler to get the visit management and all of the things I'm going to show in the user office core. You don't need to use our scheduler. You could put any scheduler on. So that means that the thing that is developed by SDFC and so ISIS or Diamond, those have different scheduling systems. As long as you make the integration into the core software, you can use whatever scheduler you want. So I think that's important to understand. But it's here. It can install and it can be installed. Yeah. So let's start. So we need to look at our proposal workflow to start out with. We have a call that I have called. We can look here in the open and upcoming. So we have our call quick test, and with bad naming, we have used a proposal workflow call test. So we can take a look at how that proposal workflow actually looks. And now you can also see the new design of the proposal workflows that soon will also support loops. But what we're interested in here is how a proposal flows through the system. So we need to go from draft into feasibility review, and then from feasibility review, we need to have a management decision submitted, and then we go into scheduling. The important part here for the developers to notice is this RabbitMQ action that is here. So if I click on this and status actions, see if this goes up, you can see that when we go into scheduling, we send out a message on the RabbitMQ. And the same goes that when we go from scheduling, we can go from scheduling into allocated. We do that when a proposal booking time has been activated. So that means that this is how the system will interface with other systems, and we will still be able to move a proposal down through the different proposal statuses. It will make sense, hopefully. So I will speed through all of that. So we just get proposal into the scheduling system. Nothing here is new. So just test of scheduling. Nothing here is new. Everything is as, yeah, this is just a proposal. We submit it. It goes in. I take the ID here. I move over as a user officer. Let's find that one. I know I'm moving fast now, but you have all seen this so many times. I will assign an instrument to it. Let's take Emir. It goes into the feasibility review status. I will then add this decision, and I will allocate a couple of days, or let's do 3 days. Here, submit it, bump. And what you will see here now is that it has been moved to scheduling. So now we're in scheduling for this one. Then I can go over to our scheduling platform. And like I said, this could be whatever. If we take a look here on how our schedule looks like, it's quite minimalistic to some degree. I will actually start, before showing you the scheduling, I will start with showing you equipment. So we have the ability that you can create sample environment here. So, and how that looks like is that it has a name, it has an owner, it has a description. You can say what instrument it will work on. You can put more people that would be responsible. And you can also say that if people are requesting to use this equipment, if it should be auto-accepted or not. And you can also put any equipment under maintenance, so you can make it not available to be scheduled on experiment times. Right? You needed to know this then for getting into the next step. So when we then need to schedule an experiment, you can do, the first thing you need to do is select an instrument. We were now going for the EMIR instrument. I'm a user officer, so I see everything here. In normal cases, they would only see the instrument that they're attached to. So this would be a view for the instrument scientist. I then click on EMIR. I get a list of all the calls that now exist. And I can filter here. I can find this call that I just used. And here I can see the different ones, the different proposals. And I can see that here, for instance, this is the name of the PI, the ID of the proposal, and how many days are to be scheduled, that are left to be scheduled in this one. I can then schedule this, and I have a couple of different ways of scheduling this. Usually when you want to schedule something, you want to set all of these different schedules as an instrument scientist. So you want to drag on multiple things. You want to make sure that the equipment is ready, the local contact is ready. So that means that I can also add that I can see the schedule here for the different equipments that are available for my instrument. So you can see here that the furnace, for instance, here is already booked in this point in time. I can also see all the different local contacts, which is the instrument scientists that are attached to this instrument. So I can see what schedule they have. So I can make sure that the people that I would want to have available for this one, that they are free. I can see that in this kind of calendar view, and I can toggle between day, week, and month. But I can also see it in a timeline view. So this is more familiar for us that is sitting a lot in Outlook and try to find the different parties that are free at a given time. So then I can see here that, okay, the EMIR instrument is free here, and the furnace is only booked here, and I can add more equipment if I would want that. And I can see, okay, all of this is free. So this is just a way for the instrument scientist to find how and when and where to schedule it. So it's just a helper tool. But I will go back to this view, and I will go into week, and now I'm in March. And then it's as simple as dragging and dropping. So I will drag this until Tuesday here. It will pop up. It will automatically have scheduled the entirety of the experiment. I can change that here. I can change when it starts and stops here. So I could do multiple experiment times. I wouldn't need to schedule this all at the same time, but I'm going to keep this as is. I can assign the local contact that I'm interested in. In this case, I will pick Matt. And I can also assign the sample environment that is needed here. And you can see here that I have 3 sample environment equipments available to me. I have one that I can schedule, and it would just be accepted immediately. And I have 2 that if I try to schedule them, it will first do a request out to the sample environment team that is responsible for that. And it will require them to approve it before I can go to the next step here. So let's take something that doesn't require that. I take the furnace here. And then here now, if I close this window, you can see that this will now be in kind of this semi-transparent mode, and it will also say draft. So this means now that this booking is in the scheduler here, but it hasn't been sent back to the core, and the instrument scientist can continue working now on setting up the complete schedule for that call, and then they can go back and actually activate it. The user hasn't been informed at this point in time about anything because it hasn't been activated. So that's kind of the way usually I have seen instrument scientists work, is that they do the entire schedule and then they go back. And then we can have kind of here in the table view, you can go from draft into activated for all of them at the same time. But now if I click activate the experiment here, that will send a signal back to the user office core with all of this necessary information that we have here. So I can click here, I can click activated, and it takes some time, bump, and then this becomes fully filled out. And you can see now that this is booked. This is the short of it regarding how the scheduler looks and operates. Some more things to say here is that we allow quite a lot. So now you can see that this proposal here that I had is fully allocated, but I can still, at this point in time, I can still add more times to it. It will then become over allocated. That's possible. When I'm done here, I can also complete the experiment time. And then I can fill out a report regarding how many hours were used. So it's kind of a post experiment thing that we can have for statistical purposes. It's very permissive. So if you compare this with other scheduling tools, for instance, I would say ICE's scheduling tool has a lot more rules and a lot more functionality when it comes to scheduling of sample environment. That it has, like, if you schedule this furnace, they know that it takes so and so many hours for it to be installed. That functionality we haven't implemented yet, so we have tried to keep it very simple. So this essentially allows you to do anything. It will warn you at different points of time, but it will allow you to do it.